Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Ways Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.
And welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Uti Elu, and today I'm in set with the beautiful Franca for the first time. Hello, lady. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank
How's
you.
your day been? I know that look. I know that feeling.
That look, yes.
Say no more. I was saying what happened to me on my way to the studio. I left my house to drive to this location. And not only had I gone past, I was almost at the old studio. And then I just asked myself, Uti,
Where are you going
what are
to?
you doing? Where are you going? In the current cost of petrol and the lack thereof, you made this kind of mistake.
What did you now do?
I should be, I'm here. I drove back. I drove back. I can't explain it. My mind was in 20 different places. I was driving on autopilot and I just was like, what's
going on? If I'm in any hold up now, I'm just very agitated and I'm like, why is there traffic? Why is there traffic? You know?
Like you see your fuel gauge going down and you're just like, that's 10K. That's 20K. I don't even know how to explain it. We're definitely in interesting times. But I mean, I'm excited to be back because I feel like I've been away from Wiz
We'll
for
get used
so
to it.
long. So I will take the good along with the bad. I've wasted some petrol today, but I'm excited to be back.
Good.
Looking forward to the show.
We're happy to have you back.
Yeah. So if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, I mean, what are you waiting for? Just click the subscribe button. Head on over to YouTube, like and share the link. Please, let's make sure that everybody is watching and sharing. Sharing is very, very important. Don't enjoy alone. Just click on the link and subscribe to Official Upgrade TV. So it's our Ladies Night Out today, and we will be talking about alternative solutions to the current fuel crisis. So if you're like me and you're driving on autopilot, we may have some solutions for you today. So here's what we found as today's quote. Where are we now? So today we're looking at, our quote for today says, the oil industry is a cartel that controls the world's economy. And that's by Ralph Nader. And when we open the phone lines, we'd love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's take a break to see what we found in the news. Please stay with us. You're still watching Ways. World Suicide Prevention Day, observed on September 10th each year, is a global event dedicated to raising awareness about suicide prevention and supporting those affected by suicide. The day aims to highlight the importance of mental health, encourage open conversations about mental health issues, and reduce the stigma associated with seeking help. Various organizations and communities come together to host events, workshops and campaigns that focus on providing information, sharing resources, and fostering understanding about mental health and suicide prevention. This day serves as a key reminder that help is available and that people can make a difference in preventing suicide through support and compassion. in this current economy and world that we are facing, it is so key to have a day that shines the spotlight on suicide. Mental health issues are real. I know that, I mean, following COVID, it seemed like everybody was talking about mental health, mental health, mental health. But when you hear the stories, I mean, thankfully, I don't know anyone personally that has committed suicide, but, in the larger circle, I know a few people, and of course, there have been certainly very highly publicized stories about, Nigerians that have committed suicide in recent times. I mean, the concept of how depression feels like a dark cloud around someone to the point where they feel like there's no other alternative than to take their life is a scary thought. What is people's reality?
Yeah. So, in fact, one of the classes I'm taking is on depression, mental health, and all that. And I just realized that we need to lay a lot of emphasis on personal awareness, self-awareness. A lot of people need to understand that you're going through these things is not stigmatized the way they make it look in this part of the world. People should understand that you need to speak to someone. Speaking to someone is therapy.
Yeah.
So just speaking to someone, it's just a thin line. Just speak to one person and you're in a good place. In fact, one of my tutors was saying that he heard that for every suicide attempts, 90% of the people, of the victims are men. And they narrowed it down to the fact that men always keep things inside.
Absolutely.
They actually do not want to say anything. They don't internalize. They don't want to say anything to anybody. But guess what? Women actually feel the same way. But by the time they get to the salon, or they see one person...
You call your bestie.
Do you understand? And they're sharing, one thing. And before you know it, they feel better.
Yeah.
Or they're not taking the action they actually wanted to take at that point. So I think that men should know that they are not SpongeBob. You understand? They need to speak to someone. It's okay to cry. It's okay to hug someone.
Yeah.
It's okay to lean on someone. So men just need to understand that I'm human. That's the first thing. Before I'm a father, before I'm a man, before a husband, the brother. So please, we should seek counseling and therapy. Please.
The ability to be vulnerable is very, very key.
Yeah.
I think that's so much pressure. I mean, just culturally as well, I think there's a lot of people need help. We know that, and, we can help people to overcome it. So,
so let's not call it.
Thank you. So it is, but basically it's a medical thing. It's not a figment of the imagination.
Exactly.
It is real, and you can get help for that. So, what did you find for us in the news?
Okay, let's go back to the main issue. Fuel landing cost price. Marketers fear high Dangote petrol prices. Oil marketers are concerned about delay in announcing the price for the premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, being produced by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, as they note that the landing cost of imported PMS is now about 1,125 per litre. Details stated that a high PMS price from the Dangote Refinery would lead to the importation of the commodity by marketers, since the government has opened up the market for competition. In July this year, the Major Energy Market Association of Nigeria revealed that the landing cost of PMS was 1,107 naira per litre. The landing cost is simply the price at which the commodity lands on the Nigerian shores. While the pump price of the petrol ranged between 600 and 700 naira per litre, the cost was raised last week to between 855 and 897 per litre. So the Nigerian NNPC is saying while the independent dealers hiked their prices to 1,000 litres. So basically,
I feel like you want to say dun dun dun.
I want to say we're back at it again. So we had this conversation last week, and we're happy. I even told you, I said, let me not kill your joy so fast. They said Dangote was going to give us whatever in 48 hours. And I told you, wow, relax and watch. It's about a week now. This conversation was last week, Tuesday.
Is it a week? Oh, we've been waiting for Dangote refinery for how long?
No, not the refinery now. The price. They said it was going to be out in 48 hours. And it's a week now, and we still don't have anything. So, and then they've increased the price. It was 5 something before the announcement, and now it's 1,000. In fact, Uti, I filled my car with almost 60,000 naira.
Yes.
And I was like, what am I coming to do on the island?
Yeah. Everywhere you go now, you think about it. That's why the excursion I went on today, I'm still feeling the pain as I sit here. No, but the truth of it is, I mean, I've always said for as long as we've had these conversations on the show that when everybody was making it sound like Dangote's refinery was going to be a silver bullet, all of our problems will be solved. I said, you people wait.
And see.
Let's hear what the cost of operations will be. Doing business in Nigeria is not easy.
True.
Then you now have, it's now, this whole Dangote saga now is like he said, she said. He's trying to uncover and expose things on one side. Everybody is now trying to fight their corner. And unfortunately, the Nigerian populace is caught in the middle. No doubt, for the longest time, at least in my own knowledge, I know that we are paying less than, even when the subsidy was removed, we were paying less than the landing cost because, I mean, dollar has been volatile. All of these things impacts that landing cost. Whether we will see a situation, someone was telling me the other day that they thought that the increase in price by the NNPC and by the government was to ensure that people didn't rush over to Dangote when he started selling. So the honest truth of it is there's so many stories that you hear one version here. You know, there's none that I've heard that I can say, yes, I absolutely can put my hand on it and say this is absolutely
what it
true.
is. Yeah.
What I just take them all as is the perspective of whoever the person that is telling that story is at that point in time.
True.
But the reality is, like you said, we're waiting to hear what the price is. I do not believe, and this is a very layman's point of view, I do not believe that the cost will be significantly less. Because, like I said, the cost of doing business, even I kept saying it, anybody that knows Dangote should hug him because the guy is going through it right now.
Yeah, but
from them not providing him with the raw
materials,
to, you know, he's going. So all of these things, whatever cost a manufacturer incurs, is the end user, it's the consumer,
that pays for it. Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if
by the time
that cost is not significantly cheaper. But let's wait and see.
So I think what Nigerians are even saying, let's even leave the cost now. Let it be available. And then we'll now begin.
I don't understand. You've increased the cost, it's still not available.
It's still not available. So let it still be available. So let people know that, okay, so this is what the cost, and then let's walk around the costs. You know,
we are always working around
We always walk around it as Nigerians. So
I mean, I'll take my story very quickly. My headline just says NAFDAC orders recall of Dove Beauty Cream Bar Soap. So this caught my attention because I know Dove is a popular brand of soap, but it says the National Agency of Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has ordered the recall of the Dove Beauty Cream Bar Soap. This is a 100-gram bar with batch number 81832M08, produced in Germany due to the presence of a chemical impurity. It says it violates the cosmetic productions regulation by containing butyl phenyl methyl propional. Wow, okay. Also known as Lilial, a chemical associated with serious health risks. So this was announced yesterday. It says the agency said that it had been banned and it could cause harm to the reproductive system and potentially affect the health of unborn children, triggering skin sensitization and allergic reactions. So basically, I took the story because I just wanted to, of course, this kind of information, you try and spread it wide. In case anybody has Dove soap at home, please do check and see if it's part of the affected batch, and do well to not use it, and just to take those precautionary measures. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about fuel and the landing costs and everything that we're going through right now. But Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive right into today's conversation. Please stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
Thanks for staying with us. Tonight we'll be exploring the transportation sector. Given the ongoing fuel scarcity, we'll be looking at alternative fuel sources for transportation and taking a close look at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's launch of compressed natural gas at an affordable rate of 230 naira per litre. Now, this initiative aims to ease the economic strain on Nigerians facing high fuel prices. CNG, which is a cleaner and cost-effective alternative to gasoline and diesel, is produced by compressing natural gas and has been successfully implemented in countries like Argentina, India, and Pakistan to reduce fuel costs and pollution. Here in Nigeria, the rollout of CNG stations is already in motion, with several set to open across key cities. This move marks a pivotal shift in our approach to energy consumption and economic sustainability. In examining other initiative or innovative solutions to the fuel crisis, such as electric vehicles, biofuels, and sustainable energy advancements, and their potential impacts on our economy, our environment, and daily lives. So join us to explore this transformative moment in Nigeria's energy landscape and its future implications. So, you know why this topic was important for me, for us to talk about today? So on Sunday, I was in church, and I was talking to a couple of fellow members, and somebody said, that this fuel price now, hey God, he said, where are our Igbo brothers? That they should start importing good Tokumbo electric vehicles. And I looked at the guy that was speaking, I said, electric vehicles? It was not that long ago, a picture of a Tesla in Lagos was causing traffic. It was causing all sorts of comments and ruckus on Twitter because people were like, you never get lights. You want to carry electric vehicles. But I was also saying that I was driving down a street in VI, and I saw that a company had opened up that is selling electric vehicles. So the fact is, the things that seemed improbable are now becoming viable solutions, because people are saying he was like that he converted his generator to gas, and in fact right now he's willing to convert his car because whatever will keep his costs low is what he's interested in.
True.
So if it is going to cost him less to run his generator to charge his car and know that he's not paying for this one here and paying for that one here, and I just said, wow, that's a real shift, because even when the whole world was talking climate change, we were always on the, I beg, we have bigger fish to fry.
Bigger issues to deal with.
So now Nigerians are actually interested in what is actually happening in alternative solutions. And for me, right, I know that, yes, at the forefront, we now have the President's Initiative, which is the CNG.
CNG.
We have things like LPG. I mean, we'll talk through the different types. But that shift, the conversation stuck with me. I was like...
Okay, so I think we Nigerians, we're very good at adopting. The minute, it becomes a no-go, we're thinking immediately, what's the alternative? Which is a good thing. Very good. Yes, it's very good. But again, we should be sure that we have all the information we need about whatever it is we're diving into. Because if you're going into anything without proper information, it always backfires on us. So that's just the thing. And I think this would even make us begin to think outside the box. Absolutely. We're so comfortable with certain... So as much as we are very... We actually adapt easily. We get very comfortable.
Yeah.
So you see that if this thing wasn't this bad,
we wouldn't think about alternatives.
We wouldn't think about alternatives.
I mean, human nature, I agree. I mean, the sustainability of it for me is even now the concern. So I remember last year, no, it was 2022, right? I went to the UK and I was like, I know they had started this project many years ago when they started transitioning the public buses. But of course, the iconic, London double-decker red bus, there were lots of them that, of course, were still traditional fossil fuel. And I was surprised when I went back that all of them had been changed to hybrid electric versions. And, there was a measure of thought and planning that went into that.
Yeah.
It wasn't we're just going to do it now.
thing.
When they all break down, we'll go back to the status quo. And I think for me, that is one of the concerns that I have with the way we do things, right? The government will bring in, I think we've gone through how many versions of Lagbus, the red ones.
So we see what you just said now. At the point where the president was saying, you know what, we're taking out subsidy, that was the point where...
Did you have a plan?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the things he's talking about now are things that
should have been in
place
Totally
beforehand.
Agree. Yeah.
Not after people have gone through so much. God.
Well, they say when you wake up is your morning. So let's assume now that we have hit dawn and we're ready to go. But mine is, don't get to 12 noon and decide that it's like, just go back to what we know. And that's my fear, because we're constantly... We're not good at maintaining and sustaining things. So when you talk about the transportation sector, for example, it is largely private owned.
Yeah.
Right? It is largely fragmented. So you have the road transport workers, NURTW, you have all of that. But generally, it is one man owns a few buses, or one man owns one bus. You paint them the same way, or it's the same type of bus. But they're all at various ages, various quality, various patch. You see them on the road.
So no guidelines.
Exactly.
No rules, yeah.
So when I see this initiative, which, on paper it sounds good. Right now, if you give me 230 naira per litre, I will jump at it, right? So you're now giving me an alternative. Now, one of the things that caught my attention was the fact that it was CNG. So I know when the government first started talking about this, right, they had talked about, my thought process was LPG, because that's the one that I knew of, right? Which is the liquefied, I'm going to try and test myself now. I think it's liquefied something gas. I can't remember what the P stands for, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first one that was in place. So I thought that was, and that has a lot of issues, even in terms of safety and all of that. So when I saw this and I thought, okay, CNG, I was trying to read up a little bit about what CNG was, and it appears that it's a lot safer. An alternative, it's like compressed methanol, I think is what it is. But like you said, it's causing us to think. So we already have a clear, would I say roadmap, or we have clear examples in other countries.
They've mentioned it doesn't mean we have a clear roadmap.
No, I was even going to say that we have a clear example abroad of electric as an alternative, right?
Okay.
So today we have electric cars. It's tried and tested. It's being used abroad. Like we said, there was a Tesla rolling around the streets of Lagos. So that is tried and tested, right, as a hybrid version. Now, we had LPG, like I mentioned. You have things like biodiesel that comes from the waste products, like if you fried vegetable oil, you can use that for that. Things like hydrogen. So there's all sorts of alternative fuels that are available at the moment. So the point I'm trying to get at is CNG is now where the government is going. But I want to take the point that you said in that we don't want to stop there. We don't want to say because the government is now behind CNG, right? I often say that the problems of Nigeria are not going to be solved by the government, right? So this now presents opportunities.
Okay, so it's a very complex. So this is very complicated. You know why I say this is complicated? Because it's one thing for the government to say, "Oh, let's look at this." You want us to have a lot of information. Which research body is behind this? We don't have any of that.
No, but you see, so that's why I'm saying that at least they're going with tried and tested, because that was why I said initially about my worry about LPG, like the risks around that.
I'm even talking about the alternatives we're even looking at.
No, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
If somebody has tested it and
it's working. So with this same Nigerian method of doing things, they've mentioned it. This might take another 3-4 years to implement.
So interestingly enough that you say that, now they say that they are going to roll out, I think now, hold on, oh ye of little faith, hold on now. I get you.
Who I said.
I get you, right? So if I go back to the information, so they've said that they're rolling out, where is it now? 1 million free conversion kits, right? So they've set up the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas. The initiative is called the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI, right? And as part of that, now they're sharing 1 million free conversion kits for commercial vehicles across the country. Now the kits along with free installation will be rolled out over the next 18 months. Now, when I saw this, that's my thought process. This same reaction you have on your face right now, that's exactly what I thought as well. And to be honest, we have every right to feel the way you're feeling right now, because it's not today we've been hearing sound waves, sound bites, notes. We've heard every variant, right? So I agree with you that right now,
ordinary rice.
Well, I hope this should bring NIN for that one, but let's not.
Ordinary rice.
Let's not digress.
You know how? Okay.
Let's not digress.
Okay.
Because if we talk about that rice one, we'll talk about all the conspiracies and all the issues.
And why do you think it won't happen with the free 1 million kits?
So now what we're saying is that those 1 million kits, right? So when I first saw the 1 million kits, my thought process was, are they going to give it to you? To give to Kasali down the road, or Kojo,
they usually have centers.
Convert. So that was even the way, because the story just said there are 1 million free conversion kits. I said, am I going to drive somewhere and you give it to me?
So it's very easy. So they have centers. They should just tell us, in Lagos we have so amount of centers.
That's where I was coming to. So that's why I said that the rollout, right? It looks like it is, at least from the little research that I've done, it looks like things are
why
happening.
do I think you don't even have faith in this thing you're trying to preach to me?
See, it's okay to not have faith. Even me. I'm telling you what I have seen.
Okay.
But I'm not telling you that I have faith. I told you, the first thing I said was sustainability.
Okay.
I can tell you now that this is the address. You can go there in 3 months. The place can be shut down. So, what I'm even trying to put across is, at least as at the time that they announced it, so they've partnered with NIPCO Gas.
Okay.
Right? And various other service providers from what I can see. So at the moment, it looks like there are 11 states, including 10 states and the FCT, that currently have... This look you're giving me is making me forget what to say.
Because I'm equally tired.
I know, we're all jaded. I know, I agree, right? But yeah, like I was saying, 11 states or 10 states and the FCT that now have official test centers. So there's about 62 centers in all. And the focus is, and which makes sense, the focus is primarily on what's the word now? It's primarily on
Commercial cars.
commercial vehicles because, I mean, that's what will affect the masses and the populace more.
Yeah.
So I agree with that mindset. But I think that if we're going to roll it out to a scale
don't you even think
that would impact.
Don't you even think that we have BRT buses that are owned by the government, right? So why don't they even just start with that?
They're on it. That's what they said. Yeah.
Uti.
It's just, you know why I said that government buses, again, government transportation is not uniform across all states. So in Lagos, we have BRT and Lagbus and all of that.
Let them start with those places. So let's say that they're working.
So that's why I'm saying that. If you take that approach, right, my point is, if you take a city like, a state like Lagos, right,
yeah.
Lagbus or the government-run bus services are smaller in volume, in number.
Have you gone to Oshodi to see the amount of...
I've seen them now.
So, Uti,
the
amount of buses there...
What I'm even saying is that if you start with that, right, the places and the number, the impact you will have, I'm saying, as well as those ones, BRT buses, there has to be a concerted effort to reach the... So just think about driving on Lekki Express, right? You see 20, 30, 40 regular downfall buses for every one BRT. I can't remember the last time I saw a BRT bus.
So that's what I'm saying. So let them start with the BRT buses and let those downfall buses see that, wow, it is working. And then they would even be willing to pay because that's where they make their daily bread.
I agree. So I'm even saying now that since you have said they are doing it for free, the waiting to say we have these centers, go here.
There.
Go to them.
Uti, that's what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing. Now, you're saying you have 1 million free cases, 1 million free kits. Good. These people don't believe these things. You want them to come somewhere. What you should do is, you know what? Get your BRT rolling. All the BRTs in Lagos, let's even start with that. Get those buses rolling. And let those downfall drivers see that these things are working. Yeah. You don't even have to give them free kits. Yes.
Okay, so hold that thought. That's a very good place for us to take a break. And we'll be right back. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. So if you just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out and we're discussing alternative solutions to the current fuel crisis. Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Our phone line is also now open, so please call us on 0702-500-7749 or 0701-424-2420. Now, before we went on the break, Franca was accusing me that I didn't sound like I believed in this initiative. And I think it is only wise, as Nigerians, given what we have been through, that we exercise caution.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I'm even impressed to see that at this point in time, it's not even voicemail. At least they have partnered with a company. At least today, we have centers. You know, sometimes it's until you
Have you seen the centers?
Until you say, no, at least there's address. That's why I say if you go there, 3 months, if you know there. But as it is right now, right, they're giving free conversions to registered members of NURTW. And then for like the ride-hailing apps, the Ubers and Moves and the rest, they're offering 50% off.
Okay.
So I think for that, this is really important information for commercial drivers to have. At least do your research. See what you can find. Because if you can go from 900 naira per litre to 230 naira per litre, you want to be at the front of the queue, right, to get it done. The concern for me, like you rightly said, right, start with BRT buses. I agree. BRT buses are newer buses. It would be interesting for us to maybe see if we can get an expert on the show one of these days to tell us about these kits, because if you are trying to install something that was made for a car that was made in 20 or 2000, let me never say 2020, and then you now meet a car that was 1980 or 1990, it may be very different, right? So I think that some of these sensitizations, because when you're driving change, right, the change management process itself is very important. And information is a key part of that.
Very key part of it.
So the government has a responsibility to now assure the populace, because it's not just the drivers, the person driving the car and owning the car, is also the passengers. Will you enter?
Uti was saying the same thing. Personally, if I see what they have done, if I do see, they say seeing is believing. Let them take their time, because it's a really bad situation. So I don't think it's out of place if, you know, they already have their centers and they're saying, go here, and see what we have done. Just to convince the typical Nigerian man that, you know what, it would work. It's a good alternative for you.
I think if the sensitization is even done well, like raising awareness, whether it's radio, whatever, and then, you know, it's word of mouth that spreads this kind of information. But for me, I'm like, let's even see whether this one is another soundbite. But that real concern around the sustainability, about whether in 2-3 months we won't abandon this initiative, all the song and dance, all the noise would have been made, and then there'd be no sight or sound of it. Because the truth of it is, look how much of an investment it's taking Dangote to put up a refinery.
And
is it going to be cheaper for somebody to start manufacturing again? I didn't see any information, and I didn't get a chance to do a bit more research about whether we produce, I'm assuming that we produce CNG
CNGs.
locally, so that then it's
look
commercial
at what you
businesses.
just said now. If this thing was actually planned, why
Well,
Dangote was busy building his refinery?
Dangote's own was already in the works.
Yeah.
But we have now learned from our bad behavior that Dangote was not the silver bullet. It's not going to take us to the promised land. So now we're getting creative.
Joy is short-lived.
It hasn't even landed. Were you joyful?
Uwa was campaigning.
Uwa is always joyful. See, you see when I say these things, you know, Uwa and I, when we sit under this table, we used to rack our blow. And I said this, I said, somebody hasn't told you yet what his cost of operation is. And people are saying, once he goes live, he will change our fortunes. That one, to me, it sounds like MMM.
So I just pray that, you know, we get it right, and that we're able to see that they don't need to do so much for the average man to be satisfied. They don't need to do so much.
But that's on the government side. I still think that given the amount of alternative solutions that are available, one of the other things I also wanted to point out in this conversation is, just like my the person that I was speaking to at church said, that somebody needs to start importing. But the point is, there's business. So I think about all the eateries that we have in this Lagos, all the fast food joints and all. Everybody's frying something. So that means we have oil. We have vegetable oils that can be collected. The use of biofuels is not that's another tried and tested concept. So even that presents an opportunity. Is there someone that has the expertise in that, or is going to create an alternative? Because I think the main crux or the main opportunity where we are at right now is that Nigerians are now open to it.
Oh, somebody just mentioned that the mobile fuel station at Agidingbi actually has CNG.
There you go.
Yes, and that the Sol cars actually going in there to refuel, and it seems very decent.
Awesome. So we're making progress in terms of that's why I said let's give it a chance, right? But the crucial thing is what you said. People are now, our minds are opened. Right? If somebody had come to you before and said, let's try CNG, you probably have been like, why?
Yeah.
But
so
now
they should do a lot
open.
of they should do a lot of adverts and publications about this thing, so people know that there are options.
Yes.
And then this whole drama about fuel won't be this bad.
Yeah.
Because if people already know about these things and that it's working, I'm sure a lot of people will be like, you know what, let's try with one car. Let's try with this. And, it reduces the whole chaos and everything we're going through.
Absolutely, I agree. It's just, like I said, for me, you know, when people say, I'm looking for opportunity, this is a real business opportunity.
Yes.
Now, we've got CNG. What else can we have? I think one other thing as well is, I guess it's not as important to Nigerians, but the perspective of the impact on the environment. I mean, one of the things, a friend of mine just came back from Canada, had been away for about 3 months. The whole time he was away, no issues with his breathing, nothing. As soon as he got back, started taking loratadine and antihistamine. He was sneezing. Even I myself, I'm on my second round of cold since I got back. So the impact that this could even possibly have on our environment is another key thing. So it will save your pocket, it will help our environment, because, I mean, we often say it's that our problems are beyond whether you're carrying plastic bag or you're using takeaway plastic. Those things have not yet hit our radar because survival is part of it. But I think that this will also have a significant impact in terms of even the quality of our
lifestyle,
of our environment, of the air, you know, pollution and all of that, because it's really, really important. It's interesting. I think that when I think about it now, if somebody comes to you today and says they have a CNG car, and these are some of the benefits, because I think it's important that even though, yes, we are not quite sure whether this will be a sustainable thing, I think that even now expanding beyond in our transportation options, because why are we feeling it so much now? Because we are using what everybody's on the road.
Yes,
it's affecting our traffic. It's affecting that
and our pockets.
So
that's the major thing.
It would be good beyond this CNG initiative to also see the government come up with other solutions for transport.
True.
So, I mean, I would note for Lagos that the railway, even though it's covering a limited part of the state, but I think the blue line is live. I think the red line is also
so I don't know anything
live
about
as well.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an alternative, because we have a lot of people, so we need to be able to move people, and we need to get people off the roads. I think one other place where Lagos also is not doing enough, let me use Lagos as the example because that's where we are, is the waterways. When I grew up, we used to take the ferry. In fact, I used to enjoy it. Like, I think it's one of the reasons why I don't get seasickness now. I'm not afraid, because I used to look forward to any opportunity to ride on the ferry then from Mile 2 to CMS.
Okay.
So today, we have all the waterways. You have people commercially. I know some people take the boats if they're coming from Ikorodu and all of that. But again, you know, if you really want to have a robust transportation network, we really need the government to be providing mass transport in alternatives so that we can even give the road a bit of a break.
Yeah.
So, because a well thought out, and that's, I think, what you were trying to say when you talked about roadmaps, a well thought out roadmap is not one solution. Right? If you say, I want to fix a problem today, you start by trying to understand what the problem is, what the root causes of the problem are, and you find different solutions. So today, as it is, if the private sector is doing it at a small scale, then it means there's opportunity there for you to go in and take it. It doesn't even have to be the government.
But you see, okay, so, and then, you know, they always say, oh, Lagos State is the state where they try out things. Lagos State is in quotes, the best, you know, the place where everything works. So that's why I'm very particular about what have they done. The president is from Lagos State. So why not try out, you know, this is the place where you want to test out everything, where you want to see if it works, and then you take it to the next state. See the ferry thing you talked about. We hear about it. We don't know the numbers of people who die. You haven't thought about that.
That's what I said before.
Do you understand? There are no life jackets. This thing is
truly jaded.
No, seriously.
I know what you mean, but you see, that's
see
why
the
I'm
guy.
saying that
Is it not the same fairy thing that the actor that died?
I know. So that's why I'm saying that then presents an opportunity, one, for the government to step in, and along with that comes regulation.
Uti, should we be having this conversation?
Yeah, but we have to have it. That's
No,
why
you don't understand what I'm trying to say.
I know
Because
what you mean.
this is not something... They have people, they have advisors,
Policy
they have
advisors.
policy advisors,
Yeah.
they have people who are supposed to be dealing these things.
So
even before you bring in the CNG and... Okay, so let's not even talk about the things we have on ground. What have we done to make these things work?
And that's the problem now. So
Why are you
before,
talking small?
we were not motivated to solve the problem. Yes, now. At least now you are considering it. Now we're discussing it. Now people are saying, bring electric, bring gas. We will take it. So mine is, yes, I know what all the problems are, right? I expect the government to be thinking far and beyond. In fact, when they built the, where is it now? Just on Falomo Bridge. They built that nice 5 calories water jetty. I know, and in my mind I was like, aha, fantastic, we're going somewhere. We still don't have, right? Okay. And these are things that are options, real options to solve problems. And I say that when the government or politicians are looking for people to support them, it's not hard though.
It's not hard. I said this thing. It is not hard. Just do 1 or 2 things.
Solve a problem. A real problem. Nigerians will pray for you. That's what it is. So I think that if we get to that point where people understand one. So today, we have this back and forth between marketers and Dangote. Is
belly structure again.
Do you get what I mean?
That's what he just... So I'm not even interested.
Even now that you say you are opening it up, I think that for those that have the expertise, this is a new market. If you are bringing in biodiesel, bring it. If you are going to do electric, bring it. But right now is the time to strike. The iron is hot because everybody is really looking for an alternative. Our pockets are pushed. Everything is hard. You know, I'm very...
They can even be making money from the conversion.
So that's
another sort, because instead of building toll gates or thinking of going to put toll gates and getting people to pay money.
You know?
See, honest, there are so many things that they can actually do.
You know what?
Get those guys who are those agberos, those lawmen, those people that are on the street and get them to go and train for the conversion.
No,
do you understand?
I mean, there's absolutely
there's so many things that... Exactly.
Again, it comes down for me to a measure of selflessness that this will be allowed to work. Because we know in Nigeria, and let me say that the conspiracy theorists will tell you that the people that are controlling the system today won't let it work. But I think that is also a reason why we need a lot more Dangotes. We need a lot more people in business, in the corporate world, to get into this market. Because if not, we are going to struggle. If not, this thing will not be sustainable. The government has opened the door. Now, we, the private sector, Nigerians, we have to fight to keep it open.
You know, honestly, I just feel that this government has a way of controlling even the private sectors.
Okay. So I think we have a phone call. We have Loman.
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear us? Hi, Loman. Are you there?
Loman from Abia State.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully he will call back. I've lost my train of thought of what I was going to say, but...
Okay, so I was saying that I think they have a way of controlling even the private sectors.
So, again, I think it's a critical mass. I will take it from the perspective of critical mass, in that you realize that people now see that there's money to be made. And you know, one thing we are clear about is that once there's money to be made, people will go into it.
Okay.
But it is now understanding that if we take anything else out of this conversation today, is that CNG is just the beginning. There are other alternatives out there. The electric, there's nothing that stops somebody today from financing electric cars.
I think there's a factory somewhere.
Partners,
I think there's one in Ikorodu.
Okay, I think Loman is back. Good evening, Loman. Can you hear us?
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Loman.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Alternative solution to current fuel crisis. Please, I want to ask this pertinent question. Is it water that is easy accessible? It's quite unfortunate. We have crude oil, we have refinery, and it is not working. We have crude oil, we are busy exporting it, and now importing it back to Nigeria. Hey! Jehovah. In fact, it's quite unfortunate.
It is.
See, let me tell you, I don't believe we should have alternative to anything. If the present administration is speaking truth to power, they will now tell us that they have failed Nigeria. They failed to make sure that our refineries start working again. Everything lie moribund. I want the same refinery that was working when Obasanjo Yoruba was on that seat. Is this same refinery that was working? So those people that are hell-bent in making sure that we, ordinarily, look at we are buying 1,003 in Umuahia here. It's quite unfortunate. When you're buying it, you're shedding tears because there's not enough money again in your pocket. So I want to let this present administration know that what they are doing, I'm telling you, they should softly because a lot of Nigerians are not happy. And if they don't tread softly, anything can happen. But God forbid. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Loman. And I mean, you're absolutely right. That is the cry of every Nigerian right now. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You think twice. I said that my car is 2 years old. When I got my car, the first full tank I bought in my car was less than 15,000 naira. Sure. And this Saturday, I filled my car at 51,000 naira. And that's because I was even able to buy at NNPC. So I bought, I think, at 853, I think, or so.
850.
Yeah.
855, thereabout.
So I'm like, can you imagine if I was going to buy at 1,003, like Loman said, that's an extra, what is that? That's about 200, no, 500 plus 500 per liter on top of what I bought. No. So, I mean, it's really mind-boggling when you think about it. But, I mean, I hear him also when he talks about, you know, is it water in terms of, I'm assuming, is it free? What would distribution be like? And this is, I mean, I guess the conversation we're having today.
Even water is not free.
About, well, that is also true. If you have bought dispenser...
Lucky they have water issues.
Let's not even digress on that one because that's oh, my chest. But the truth of it is, that's where we're coming from, right? The conversation today really around spreading it out, making it a viable solution for the whole of Nigeria, not just for one part of Lagos or one state or the other, which is why we're saying, please, this goes beyond the government. This now, whatever plan, the organization that is driving this, I saw that the initiative has, they've done a very pretty website, you know, everything looks nice. But the people who are truly driving this, if they're driving this to be impactful and sustainable, then it's not one government organization. It's going to have to be several partnerships. It's not with just NIPCO gas, right? It's going to have to be several partnerships because you want to scale it quickly.
Yeah, and they even want to, they should open it up. They should even make the marketers, the so-called marketers, part of it so that it's just something that would spread like wildfire and before you know it, it's everywhere.
So it becomes a viable a business and more people, and I mean, again, once there's money to be made, people will
want to get involved.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that is really what I would take from what Loman has said is, what is the plan to scale it? What is the plan to grow it? It's not just one government initiative that is going to solve the problem of over 200 million Nigerians. It cannot be possible. But I think that we have hope. I think this is a ray of sunshine. You know, people will say that I'm always optimistic and positive. When it comes to Nigeria, I'm unusually so. But the main thing for me is that transition in that conversation I had on Sunday that said, I am open to an alternative.
A lot of Nigerians are actually open to alternatives.
I think that is the key thing that we want to hold on to, is that right now I'm looking for an alternative. I'm no longer saying it must be, yes, we have crude. And to be honest, I'm not sure now whether that's a blessing and a curse or a curse. But we have crude. But even if I mean, the refineries have been running for a long time, so the refinery problem is not this administration. It's been an ongoing thing. So if I even use that historical information, I cannot tell you that we will still be running today.
Trust me, I'm sure because you just had that conversation with your church member, for a very long time, people have been open to alternatives.
Well, I think we have done our job for today. People are open to alternatives. So that's where we're going to end the show.
Yeah.
It's been such a great conversation with you, Franca.
Yeah.
But before we go, ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Interact with us further. Drop a comment, follow all our social media engagements. Remember to share. Tell a friend, tell your family. Don't watch Ways alone. If you missed our quote for today, it says the oil industry is a cartel that controls the world's economy. We will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another fantastic conversation to your screen.
Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Ways Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.